wait, shit.
Sports Podcast, episode number 182.
Who the hell's this guy?
Did I say something wrong?
No,
what happened?
Who the hell's this guy?
Who is this?
Who's this?
Listen, I'm back. It took weeks. The show's going to be back on a consistent basis because I can get this thing posted almost immediately after. I've been on that venture, and I didn't want to say shit, but I know Jared did when I was gone. But I opened up a new business, and I was gonna say it when I got back, but I mean, like, good. Like, give me.
Why are you gonna hold that back? Gotta give you free publicity here. Why was we gonna hold that back?
That's what I'm saying. I don't care. I'm saying it's fine. But opened up the new dog product business, Blula, shopblula.com. There's been a lot of work over the past month. So I think this is the first time I'm on in a good month.
At least.
I think it's over a month.
No, it's been about a month and a half.
Did I miss 4 episodes?
I think so.
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
I think I missed 4 episodes. So I'm back, baby. And the full show is together. And now that we're back rolling, and granted, like things could screw up for me in the middle of this, so I could all of a sudden have to disappear for another week or two. But for right now, I'm fully back. And we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of Celtics to talk about. We got a lot of Patriots to talk about. We don't really have too much more Red Sox to talk about. I am bummed that I missed the Alex Cora news.
He's back.
Alex Cora is back. Quick thoughts on that. Fucking duh. Listen, this was the game plan since they hired Ron Renicky.
Of course.
If they knew they wanted to move on, they would have hired somebody who could have been a long-term plan and not a guy who was already rumored to retire after this last season. So this was in the works for a while. Some other news in my life. We're going to talk about me. This first segment is the Nick Quaglia segment. As Jared
because everyone cares.
Talked about last week. Yeah. Because
everyone cares.
And Jared talked about last week. I am in the midst of battling coronavirus. Don't know where I got it from. It's weird. I can't smell anything now. I'm mostly fully back to normal. The first couple days was terrible, guys. It was awful.
Do tell.
I mean, it was just like, so on Sunday I started getting the symptoms. Last Sunday. So last Sunday I had a little dry cough. I went, and I was like, oh, fuck. Why was that so dry? There was nothing. There was no mucus. There was nothing. Why did that hurt my throat when I did that? I was like,
Coco.
okay, it's fine. All of a sudden, I get this pounding headache. And then I start getting super dizzy. And then my legs started to hurt. I was like, what is going on? And I started worrying. I said, there's no way. There's no way I got COVID. That's not going to happen to me. Sure, there's millions of people have gotten it, but there's no way it's going to happen to me. I was safe. I wore my mask everywhere I went. I sanitized constantly. Well, COVID, don't discriminate. COVID got me. First couple days was terrible. Wiped me out for like 3 days. But got better pretty quick, I would say. I'm only 26 years old. There's like I was one of the types of people that would be totally fine if I got this, and turns out I was. The other thing is, like, I can't smell shit. I can taste, which I would have been bummed. As of right now, I can taste. But I would have been bummed if I lost my taste. But my sense of smell, guys, is just gone. Like, it's weird. And I noticed it when my girlfriend brought down popcorn. I was like, why can't I smell? Popcorn's one of my favorite scents. What's going on? I tried. There's nothing. Gone. When I inhale,
try snicking some popcorn up your nose, see if it triggered anything.
Dude, it's nothing but air. I tried to smell whiskey. I tried to smell popcorn. I tried to smell candles. There's nothing. I'm just sucking up air through my nostrils right now.
What smell do you miss the most right now?
I love popcorn smell.
Okay.
Popcorn is my
sweet smell of the melted butter and the salt.
Yeah. And I try to eat healthy, but popcorn's something I do not. I refuse to back off on when it comes to the unhealthy part, because I'm not having popcorn if it's not covered in salt and butter. No fucking way. So I haven't been able to smell anything. It's been weird, but I'm all good now. For the most part, I can leave this. I've been stuck in the same room. I've been quarantined since last Sunday. I've had the health departments calling me. Are you? Yeah, I'm fine. But it's just, it's weird. COVID's weird. But But guys, I mean, I don't have a long one, but we trying to talk about the weekly dump?
Pew.
Have you guys been doing
Pew.
the weekly dump?
Yes, we
Yep.
have.
Oh, I did 'em.
We've been doing it in your honor.
Okay, well, listen. The first one, Theo Epstein out of Chicago, which one, what happened?
Just
He wants
wanted a year
it
off,
looks like.
apparently.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to be part of the transition, which is the Cubs' direction.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I heard that today too. But here's my problem with that. If you're in charge of player personnel,
Isn't your job the transition?
yeah, you are the transition.
Yeah, that's when you can shine. Like that's your job. Like when everything's good, and your job doesn't really happen when you're actually winning a lot. That you're good. You set your roster. You put a couple pitchers in the bullpen. Like
you know what
hard.
did? He pulled a star NBA player move, much like what James Harden is doing right now, and said, "I don't want to be part of the transition. Get me out of here." Except the guy who's supposed to be making the transition is the one who was like, "I'm out. I don't want to be here anymore."
Don't be surprised if he takes a Mets or Phillies job next year if it's still open. If for some reason it's still open, just keep your eye out on it.
I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up with the Mets.
I mean,
He came out and said he wants a year off. He doesn't want to be in baseball this year. Now, if the Mets come crawling and give him a great offer, I can't imagine I'll say no. But right now, he wants to be off, and that's why he left.
Star player who wants out, James Harden. And this is the craziest part of this whole thing. So James Harden wants out of Houston. James Harden also decided that he would rather leave Houston than take a $50 million per year paycheck. $50 million. You know how much you have to hate your place to want to avoid $50 million a year?
I mean,
apparently a lot.
Would you want to stay in Houston right now?
Especially with Westbrook requesting for a trade too.
Like no one wants to be there. It's over. Which never really
is
happened,
weird.
But.
Because I don't understand it. Like Houston, I don't know if they just don't know how to win. Because I mean, look at the Texans; they do the same thing, and the Astros had to friggin' cheat to do it. But I don't know if can Houston just not win anything? Is there any volatility? Is there any negativity with the Houston Rockets? Because this like took me by surprise. I think it's based more on they just can't win, and James is like, get me out of here. He's a wildly talented player, one of the best in the league, obviously. So the fact that he just like there's no path for him to win out west, especially with the Lakers being the Lakers right now, and I think he knows that. And if he sees the Nets as a destination, because the rumor is he wants to go to the Nets.
He wants to play with Durant.
He wants to play with Durant. He wants to play with Kyrie. I don't think that would mix at all.
Kyrie but Kyrie doesn't even want Harden there. That's the funniest part of all.
The best situation for the Nets, if they do make this trade, is they flip Kyrie for Harden, and then Harden and Durant are a duo, and I think that's better than Kyrie and Durant, to be honest. So
1,000%.
I think Harden and Durant would be an insanely good duo compared.
Fire.
Yeah. Oh my God, they would be compared
to what they did in OKC, because remember they were teammates very early.
Right. They play together. They have chemistry. It works.
It's insane. Yeah. And Harden's not Russell Westbrook.
Not at all.
No, and the problem with if those, because I think if you make that trade, I don't think Kyrie's going anywhere. So you're going to have Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant. So when I see something like that, I'm like, how on earth is that going to work? Somebody put an NBA a 2K video out last night, and it was a picture. It was a video of what would happen if James Harden did go to Brooklyn, and it was just James Harden dribbling for a good 10 seconds, passing it off to Kyrie, dribbling between his legs for a good 10 seconds, passing off to Kevin Durant, dribbling for a good 3 seconds, and just passing it between those three after they stop and ISO the ball for a little while, and then one of them fires up a shot. Yep. It would be very boring basketball.
Yep. I'd rather them than that than Boston, though, which we'll talk about. But
I think I would rather that, too.
I don't want him here.
I don't either.
I think I would rather that too, but we'll talk about that. Drew Holiday, speaking of the Celtics, a lot of rumors that he was going to come here. There was going to be a trade of Kemba Walker to New Orleans, plus 3 first-round picks for Drew Holiday. You saw some bum accounts saying it's a very close deal. Well, apparently it wasn't that close of a deal because the Bucks swooped in, and the Bucks offered basically all of their firstborn children, all of their houses, to bring Drew Holiday over to Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That is a scream for Giannis to please stay.
Yep.
Scream. Look
And
what
is
we're
it even
trying
enough?
to do.
And
No.
it isn't even enough.
No.
Like,
It's not. They're like,
Drew
look
Holiday.
at what we're trying to do here. Please stay here. Please don't leave. Drew Holiday in Boston, though, I would have been all for.
Oh, I would have
Yep.
loved it. Would have
Yep.
loved it. Like he's a better fit here.
Would you have
than
been
he
okay
would
with
be in
losing Kemba
Milwaukee.
though for him? 'Cause I know
See,
you don't want to lose Kemba
I
specifically.
don't
No.
see. Like
No.
that would have been the one I didn't want to do. Like if you told me it was Gordon Hayward and picks for Drew Holiday, which it sounded like that's kind of what the deal ended up being, that's fine with me.
It was a lot
But-
of picks though.
The rumor was it was Gordon Hayward and all your first round picks this year to get Drew Holiday, and that's what they offered. But obviously, you don't turn down the Bucks and they offer you your entire house. So I don't want to lose Kemba. Like trading Kemba makes no sense, absolutely whatsoever. And what kills me about this, I know we'll talk about this, is if you trade Kemba, it kills you signing free agents down the road. Just is what
Yep.
it is.
It
Here
does.
for 1 year, you deal them. Like, come on.
How bad will it look to future free agents? If you're a big time free agent and you want to sign, are you really going to want to sign with Boston knowing, like Jared just said, after 1 year, you might get dealt for a bigger player? Like, there's
Yeah.
no way. The
I want to
Boston
go
will
through all
be
these.
crossed
like, when
right
we
off
talk
the
about
list.
them. I want to go through all of them, Nick, when we talk about it. But because you have think about Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, now Kemba. Like you have things that could have had. Like there's stuff going on here that like might turn people away from Boston long term. So
Yeah, no, I get that. And the thing is though, just having Drew Holiday here is such an attractive option that it might have been something that you might want to sacrifice. But no, you're right. For long-term future, like if you're a free agent, you look at this team after they just signed Kemba and you go, oh God. And especially when you got rumors now that Gordon Hayward wants to leave, like that would be a major red flag to future free agent signings. Drew Brees, fractured ribs, collapsed lung. That guy was my bad. I got Patrick Mahomes in my big money fantasy league. Luckily, Drew Brees, I was like, this guy is on the market right now. I picked him up, grabbed him. All of a sudden, 7 points, poof, he's gone. Fractured ribs, collapsed lung. He says he's going to be back. He seems to be in high spirits. Whenever I hear collapsed lung, I'm like, dude, chill out.
hey, you know who their quarterback is now?
Jameis?
Jameis Winston leading the charge.
Hey, he had eye surgery. He's all good.
He's good. He can see where he's throwing the ball now. No more interceptions. It's okay.
He's all good. And then, I mean, what about Nick Foles? Did you guys see that game last night?
Ugh.
No, I
Nick
didn't watch
Foles,
most of it.
Monday Night Football, got absolutely crushed, and he got carted off the field. And honestly, at first, I thought it was his collarbone again.
Nick Foles, I don't get it. Injury aside, why he can only play when Tom Brady's on the other side of the ball. Like
Nick
he
Foles
sucks.
Nick Foles has given teams so much hope. And every single time he becomes a starter of a team, he just turns out just to be the guy that we know he has been, unless he's playing Tom Brady.
And the best thing about it too is you always see Patriots Twitter every time Nick Foles sucks against anybody else. It's always the tweet always comes out. How did we lose to Philly? How did Tom Brady lose the Super Bowl to that guy? There's literally a tweet about it every single time you watch Nick Foles suck outside of a game versus Tom Brady. Even this year they played Brady and he killed it.
It's also amazing too, just how bad. I know we're not a Chicago Bears podcast, but it's amazing how bad the Bears offense is. You have a guy like Nick Foles. You have a guy like Nick Foles coming in, and he can't help that offense become better, especially when you have Allen Robinson, David Montgomery, and a few weapons. That Bears team is so bad, and they are frauds. Just like another team we're going to talk about later.
Their team's 5-5. My God,
and they were 5-1 to start.
They should be like 8-2 if they had a good quarterback.
Yeah, 7-3.
Even their defense hasn't been that solid. And like their defense is like them.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
All right. That was the weekly dump.
Pew.
He's back.
So
I mean, Alex Cora, not you.
Before we get into the Celtics rumors, let's talk about the Patriots stuff real quick. So I don't know who you're alluding to here, but you said that there is a team who are frauds.
Yes.
Are you talking about the Patriots?
No.
Who are you talking about?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Oh, you're calling the Ravens frauds. So, okay, let me ask you this. The Patriots beat the Ravens this weekend, 23-17. Overall, I would say a complete game. But here's my question. Do you guys think, because I have not really seen this talked about that much, which I guess I'm happy about, but as a Patriots fan, if it's a dry game, and if all conditions are fair, if it's a totally dry game, do the Patriots beat the Ravens?
Oh.
No. I think Lamar Jackson marches right down the field, finds a way to win that game, and they sneak away.
Well, I think,
24-23
even if the conditions like they were all night, and then you just take away the monsoon that happened at the end of the game, right when they were trying to drive to, you know what I mean? Like, just make the rain stop on that drive, and they probably beat the Patriots. Like, the Ravens just happened to get screwed and had the monsoons of monsoons come through for their last drive. Like, you're watching on
like
TV,
an absolute tsunami.
Yeah, like if that didn't happen, and it was just like it was when the Patriots had the ball a couple minutes ago. Before that, the Ravens go down the field and win the game.
Probably.
Like, it's not even, you don't have to care about the whole game. It's just literally that one drive.
I will say this, though. The Patriots' defensive scheme against the Ravens, probably one of the better ones in the NFL against that Ravens offense, because they have the speed, they have the athletic linebackers, they have the cornerback unit with J.C. Jackson and Stephon Gilmore when he's healthy.
J.C. Jackson, 5 interceptions in a row.
Yeah, 5 games with an
interception.
And tell me if you guys agree with this. That interception at the end of the first half was a turning point for the Patriots, because if the Ravens go down and score, they have all the momentum going in the second half, even though the Patriots had the ball to start the second half. That took away any momentum the Ravens had.
I think it was good for the Patriots to have a lead. It was 3 points, obviously, but then the Patriots did what they do, and they came down in that first drive in the second half. Literally was with ease by the Patriots. And look, I think the Ravens have some issues. Like, I think they're flawed. Lamar Jackson needs to figure out how to pass the ball, like, consistently.
And the Patriots
game planned for Lamar Jackson running, and they figured it out. Like, he didn't run that much on the Patriots.
And the Patriots need to figure out how to get Jacoby Myers as their number 1 quarterback.
Right. That was my – so I asked you guys that question, and that was kind of debate you guys, but I think that they still win that football game. And there were a lot of questions since the last year when the Patriots were undefeated going into that Ravens game, because people forget that too. There was a point last year where we were like, this Patriots team could go undefeated. That fell apart so fast. And
there ain't no one. We're like, oh my God, greatest team ever.
Yeah. Oh my God. People were like, this defense might be one of the best defenses of all time.
Boy, were we wrong. Wow.
And after that Ravens game, they just fell apart. So you play the Ravens the first time. That's the first time Bill Belichick has seen Lamar Jackson in a game, right? And somebody brought this up. God knows who over the past year, but somebody mentioned this over the summer, and it stuck with me. Belichick, it would not have shocked me if Belichick had a plan to slow down Lamar Jackson and to basically stop him after seeing him once. And that's what we saw.
Okay.
Because, right, so the Patriots, sure, the weather got bad, especially near the end, right? But you got to think, for the first half, the weather really wasn't that bad. And the Patriots held the Ravens to 7.
Yeah, but it's not like the Patriots looked that great. Like, they were only up 3 points. Like, it wasn't like they were just, like, playing out of their minds, and then all of a sudden the Ravens came back because the weather got bad.
But also, what's the one thing that the Patriots did well in this game that they haven't done in the past, 4 or 5 games? They didn't turn the ball over. And that's something that's been a big factor. Think about this. Yeah. The Buffalo game, the end of the game, Patriots are driving down the field. Cam Newton, what does he do? Fumbles. Okay? The San Francisco game, granted, it was atrocious. How many turnovers did the Patriots have? 3?
Well, you look at last week, like, everyone kind of like was like, oh, you barely beat the Jets, right? Like, you barely beat the Jets, and the Jets suck. Well, you didn't turn the ball over that much against the Jets.
You didn't at all.
People were talking about the turnover in the game and how that Jet game could be a stepping stone to something bigger. Al, you and I talked last week about if you happen to beat the Ravens, what that could mean. Well, they did it.
Right.
They beat the Ravens, so now what? Like, you're playing Houston this week. That should now be a win by all stretch of the imagination. You should beat the Houston Texans. If you can beat the Ravens, like, I'm now a little more back on this. Now, you're going to need some help to make the playoffs, but, like, the Ravens were the game that last week that Al sat here and we both said, that's probably not going to happen, but if it is, good for you.
Well, we also said, too, Jared, look at the schedule they have upcoming the next 3 games. You're at Houston, who's 2-7. Okay, they're going nowhere. You have Arizona. Yes, I know DeAndre Hopkins had the Hail Mary catch. That's great. They beat the Bills. but they are inconsistent. I don't care what anybody says. The Cardinals are an inconsistent
Dude, Kyler
football team.
Murray's, oh my God, I love
Oh,
Kyler
it's so
Murray.
fun to
Oh,
watch.
Kyler's great, but I'm saying as a football team, they are inconsistent. And then you have the Chargers that can't win late in the game.
The Chargers can't win, but the Cardinals, I don't think you're giving enough credit. I think the Cardinals are a legit team.
And
because Buffalo's legit, and they took him down to the wire, and they beat him.
They did, yeah, and it took a lucky Hail Mary catch by DeAndre Hopkins to do so. But yes, I know what you're saying, Quags, but the thing is, once they start rattling off a couple wins in a row, and they actually show that consistency, then it's like, okay, the Cardinals are going to be for real in the NFC. But until then, I just think they're a fringe team in the sense that they need to get that consistency piece in order to be truly labeled a contender.
Okay. Now, looking at what the Patriots have done this year, even with the losses, because after they lost, even after a couple games early on that they lost, I mean, after they lost to the Seahawks, we were like, okay, well, they proved that they were legit because they were a yard away from winning that football game. I am under the idea and the assumption that the Patriots would have beaten the Chiefs if they had Cam Newton. I still believe that would have happened. Now, on the flip side of it, they lost to the Broncos, which you should not fucking lose to the Broncos this year. That's bad.
They lost to them.
Yeah, and you know, they didn't just lose to the 49ers. They got
massacred.
They got dragged by the 49ers. So there are games on each side of that you could say, okay, I think this team can compete with the big dogs. And wait a minute, maybe they can't because this game, and this game. So for the remainder of the season, it's going to be incredibly important for them to remain consistent.
Well, Nick, the way I look at it too is like everyone's freaking out like, oh, all these teams are 6-3. Like you're screwed because you can't catch them. Well, you can. But the way I think about it is like you look at all those other games, the two games that you should have won, Seattle and Buffalo, you win those games, you're 6-3. Like you're not worse than these other teams that are 6-3. You just had some shit luck at the end of these games.
Your 4-5 record doesn't indicate how well you've actually played this year.
Which also makes me think that Cam's coming back next year. Like Cam's your quarterback next year because then you'll have a full offseason, but that's a whole other day of conversation. But this team is a 6-3 football team that just had some bad luck and some crappy timing turnovers at the end of these games.
Yes.
They would have beat the Bills. If he didn't fumble, they would have scored.
Breaking rumor from Shams, Rockets and Wizards have discussed a trade centered around Westbrook for John Wall.
So stupid.
Why?
Makes no sense. Why would Houston do that?
Why would Washington?
John Wall's lucky if he can go on the court anymore without turning his ankle, let alone playing in a basketball game.
The reason why I want to say Washington would do that is to keep Bradley Beal. Like if him and Houston, if Bradley Beal wants to win, and if you want to keep him
and Westbrook together would be sick.
Him and Westbrook together would be fun. But that again, Bradley Beal has excessively said this offseason how short it's been. I cannot wait to play with John Wall again. He's supposed to be back for the season.
NBA offseason's fun. Anybody else
NBA owns the world, man. NBA owns the world. NBA offseason is better than like NBA season sometimes.
Dude, we've talked about that before on the show plenty of times. The drama off the court is like sometimes better than what's going on the court.
Shows how much entertainment it is this time of year. Now, this is usually like July 1st, July 4th stuff. This is when we're usually talking about this, like when Gordon Hayward came and stuff like that. But this keeps me on my Twitter, like refreshing constantly. No other league has this much of a grip on you off season.
There's a good chance that by the time this show comes out, whatever we talked about might not even be useful anymore. It legit, like something could drastically happen overnight because that's just what this time of year does. But going back to the Patriots real quick before we wrap that up, the thing that you have to keep a close eye on is, I think the run game is as legit as it comes. That offensive line, my boys up there, they are crushing it. One of the best in the NFL. Isaiah Wynn, I had faith in you, buddy. I had faith in Isaiah Wynn since day one. He was getting hurt. Thank you for giving me credit, Jared. I love this man. I thought he was going to do great things in a Patriots uniform, and he is becoming a consistent stud left tackle. Damian Harris just took Sony Michel's job from him. Damian Harris has explosiveness. He hits. He breaks tackles. I love him. Rex Burkhead is having one of the best seasons of his life.
Yeah, Damian Harris does the one thing that we've been begging Sony Michel to do is just run.
Have breakaway
stop
speed.
Dancing. Just break through a hole. If there's not one there, find it and make it. Damian Harris is a legit RB1 in this league.
Oh, so you mean a running back should run forward as opposed to just trying to go side to side and then get tackled for like 2 yards? Oh, okay. That's the concept. Got it.
And you know what's great?
Okay.
So Damian Harris has already done it more times than what was his name? Something Gray? Jonas Gray? Was that his name?
Jonas Gray.
Jonas Gray.
Jonas
And
Gray.
we all thought Jonas Gray was the next coming of Christ when he had that big game before he woke up late.
So
yeah, 4
that game against the
touchdowns.
Colts. So Damian Harris, you have some Patriots fans might not be happy with what the season's going on, but you have building blocks here. Damian Harris, Jacoby Myers, and I still think N'Keal Harry's a piece. I do. But between those three guys, if you could just find a tight end, you're in good shape.
He's in Cleveland.
I'm not fully. I'm who?
Njoku.
I don't really care for Njoku anymore. I thought Njoku was going to be much better than he is.
But see, I think in a different offense, especially since he got targeted in the red zone for the Browns when he was actually healthy last year, like that could be a red zone threat for the Patriots that they need.
Quarterback and tight end. That's what you need.
Next year, I wouldn't be shocked if Asiasi actually takes a step forward. And lastly,
nice.
Jacoby Myers. My God. I mean, this is what irritates me about Tom. I love you, Tom Brady. What you did for the Patriots over the past 20 years, beautiful. But if a rookie makes a mistake, don't just stop throwing to him. We saw what this kid could do in the preseason. We saw promise out of Jacoby Myers, and you just ignored him last year. And now he's Cam's favorite target. Jacoby Myers is turning into a legit receiving weapon. And if you get Jules back, once you get Jules back in this offense, all of a sudden you have two. Thank God. It's all like two receiving threats.
By the way, I have some NBA breaking news that we will be able to talk about with the Celtics, so keep going. Little tease.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm wrapping it up on the Patriots if you guys want to. If they make the postseason, do you think they could at least make it to the AFC Championship?
No.
I think they have the ability to if they can get in.
No.
I think but the problem is if they have to run to the Chiefs. Like, I think they have the talent to do it if they get in, but I think getting in is going to be the hard part because they dug themselves in too big of a hole.
Here's what I said. I recorded the Patriots Roundtable for CLNS earlier. Here's what I said about this. I wouldn't make the Patriots favorites over any of those teams. But I would give them a fighting chance. I would give them a good
100%.
chance to beat them. The only team I wouldn't is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is not being talked about enough about how nasty that football team is.
See, what I hate is everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs are still number one. You see all these power rankings. I'm like, guys, the Steelers are undefeated and they look like a wagon.
An absolute wagon. That offense,
why is no one giving them the credit they deserve?
Why can nobody but the Steelers make all-star receivers every year?
So stupid.
Their receiving core is nasty every single year. And now Chase Claypool looks like the next big thing down there in Pittsburgh. You got Juju. You got Washington. I mean, and right down to the running back, too. You've got James Conner. And then the thing is with the Steelers in years past, they've either have a really good offense and like a middle-of-the-road defense or vice versa. They've got both this year. Their defense is one of the best in the league this year. So that Pittsburgh Steelers team, if I did power rankings, they would be my number one team right now in the AFC. So let's roll it on over to the Celtics. But, boys, it's the first time I've done this in weeks. So, please, just bear with me a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You know how much, and I haven't gotten to talk about this in weeks, so this makes me so happy. You know how much we love our friends over at MANSCAPED, who, by the way, we are signed back on with through the end of December.
Hey.
Guys, the holidays are
Welcome
here.
home, Manscaped.
Have you made your wish list yet? Our sponsor today has the #1 wished for gift of the year, Manscaped, the best in men's below and above the belt grooming. Manscaped is here to ensure you're taking care of your manhood and your nose hairs with their new performance package. Ho, 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 fellas, naughty or nice, 'tis the season to perform. Listen, we've got the nose hair trimmer. This thing is one of the best tools that I have. It's been fucking amazing. I didn't even know I had a nose hair problem. And then one day I took a look and I was like, oh my God. I was about to leave for somewhere. I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? So I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, am I seeing this? She was like, yeah, that's bad. So I ran inside, snip, snap, got this done with the nose hair trimmer within minutes. And I was on the road going to my friend's house. It's unreal. Guys, you're in luck because the Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle and makes for the perfect gift. Imagine opening an attractive box that says, your balls will thank you Just imagine that. With the most sought-after gadgets and scents a person could find, including in this package is the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which is what I was just talking about, which is waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. Look, guys, 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff, which it is. Long nose hair, even when I see it on guys, I'm like, come on, clean it up there. Jesus fucking Christ. Why not use the best tools for the job here? This bundle includes the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body. The dads can't stop talking about this. The teens secretly buy this, and the women will love you for it. 'Tis the season to Manscaped, so get yourself, your dad, and your brother, and friends the best gift of all, the Manscaped Performance Package. Let's not forget their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. Get the Performance Package now to receive their 2 free gifts, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag. And the bag is friggin' amazing. I just took it with me on a trip to Vermont. The Performance Package is the best value that Manscaped has to offer and is hot off the shelves. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. Thank you, Manscaped, for making our holes look sexy. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuy20, CouchGuy20. What are you guys waiting for? Go whack your weeds and make Santa proud. Manscaped. We back, baby. All right.
Merry
Celtics
Christmas.
rumors. They're wild right now.
Yeah, they are.
So, Al, what was that thing that you brought up? It had to do with.
So, do you want the first one or do you want the second one?
Oh my God. Well, give me the second one because you got me intrigued with the second one.
Okay, so this is according to Incarcerated Bob on Twitter.
Oh God.
This is not even a blue check mark guy. Oh, God. Where are we going with this, Al?
Oh, you're going to see. Celtics and Nets are battling for James Harden. And the New York Knicks could actually help Boston and take Kemba Walker if they have interest and give them some picks to get the deal done. So we could be seeing a 3-team trade. Stay tuned. So that's from Incarcerated Bob.
Wait, read that second part again. Sorry, I was trying to find it.
Essentially, the Knicks could take Kemba Walker and give you more draft picks to make that more enticing to Houston. To bring in James Harden.
I don't want to trade. I don't
Kemba for that. No,
I don't want to unless. Okay, all right. Now you've got my attention. James Harden and Miles Turner on the same team with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
But can you swing both though? But can you get Miles Turner and James Harden though?
But it depends. It depends on a few things because the other scoop that you wanted me to read off, Quags, which comes from Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, who, by the way, James Murray, James Murray, 98.5. Sorry, I got confused there. It's been a long day. Bear with me.
Jim Murray? Jim Murray?
No, sorry. No, sorry. Jimmy Stewart.
Jay
My
Stu,
bad.
okay.
My bad. Jay Stu. Confirmed that this guy's sources are good. So
okay,
take this for what it's worth.
Hey, listen. I trust Jay Stu when it comes to his Celtics news.
He's got sources. He's tapped in.
And for the year leading up to Kyrie leaving, he was saying he's got sources telling him that Kyrie's probably gone. And the entire time, I mean, I was like, really? He's not going to leave here. He said he's staying. Well, he was right. He was very much right. So yeah, keep going. Sorry.
So here's the tweet. And this is why we're talking about James Harden to Boston potentially. While the Nets and 76ers are believed to be front runners for James Harden, the Boston Celtics are making a late push for Harden. They are trying to flip Kemba Walker and Gordon Hayward for picks and young assets that would appeal to Houston frantically.
See, so you can't.
I don't want
Turner,
that,
and you cannot get Miles Turner and.
No,
James
you're not going to be
Harden.
able to because it just said it right there. If you want James Harden, you're going to have at least.
That's it. That's your move.
At least Hayward and Kemba Walker potentially.
You're going to have to trade Hayward, who is the key piece to getting Miles Turner.
Right. And listen, I am on the same exact side as you guys. All three of us agree on this. We don't want Kemba Walker out of here. We want him to stay at least for next year because Kemba Walker brought the leadership that you needed. He brought that veteran presence that you needed. And don't forget, the guy was an all-star too. So it's not
the thing that the thing that speaks volumes to this, Kemba keep coming up. The only thing that scares me with this, and I don't want Kemba gone either, is his knee a problem that we don't know about? That big of a deal? They've been frantically trying to trade him.
I wouldn't be shocked if it is.
They've been frantically putting Kemba out there. Do they want him out before his knee becomes a problem? And is that why his name keeps popping up? Because look, if he stays this year and he has knee problems again this year, we could all sit here and go, crap, Danny was right. They should have dealt him when they had the chance, but no one's going to bite because they're probably thinking like we are.
Oh, what is this now? Now we got another rumor coming out. Holy
NBA Twitter rumors that I could put one out and people would run with it.
Holy smoke!
You want to get a follow? You want to get a following? Just type something. You'll figure it out.
You want to hear one from our boy
I got a following
Mo
tonight that I broke the Mookie Betts news, and I'm still gonna. I broke the Mookie Betts news. Everybody remember that. Continue.
Does anybody want to hear anything from Mo Chanel?
God, what's he getting wrong this time?
No, I don't.
Okay, fair enough.
The SSBT guys love him. That guy was on. Okay, I'm not gonna blow up his spot.
You can say no, blow up his spot. He needs it. Do it.
I don't believe what he says when he comes to his sources because of a certain show that he appeared on in Disgust. I'll leave it at that. Okay. I don't fully trust. I don't trust what he's saying when it comes to these rumors. I just don't.
Can I just read this one because this one's funny. This was 2 hours.
I think ago. I have it right here too.
Say it.
Yeah, see, this is not true. First source: James Harden is getting dinner in Boston tonight with Danny Ainge. Could this be trainer Danny's next big thing? The guy is a troll, guys. Come on.
He's 1,000% a troll.
And this is not what I was saying about the show. So don't connect these two. But the guy is a troll. He does this every single time there's a big rumor, and then everybody comments on it afterwards. Just see through it. Everybody comments on it after. And it was like, Mo Chanel, you got this wrong. You got this wrong. You got this wrong. No, yeah, because he's trolling.
Remember when Julio Jones was going to be a Patriot?
Yes, because I remember I commented on that, and I said, yeah, how did that Julio to Patriots rumor go there, Mo? Must have gotten at least 35 likes on that comment alone. Because everybody's picking up on it. I know.
People fall for it every time.
Want some Red Sox breaking news?
Is it actual breaking news?
Hold on. Mo Chanel, let me finish it up with this. I respect the fuck out of that guy because he's continued one of the best troll jobs of the past year and a half. And no matter how many times anybody says it in the comments, people fall for it every single time without fail. The guy's been a legendary troller, and he's going to continue to troll for years to come. Guaranteed.
Go ahead. What's this rumor, Jared?
Per Rob Bradford and his tingly sources, Will Venable will be your Red Sox bench coach this year.
So that's why Jared Carrabs tweeted that earlier.
Okay, there you go.
That makes sense.
Per the Bradford tingly sources.
I like Bradford. Bradford's a very solid dude.
I like Bradford too.
Gordon Hayward is out. He's not playing next year, right? He's not going to be a Celtic this year.
Good friend of the program. Big Couch Guy Sports guy.
Gordon Hayward?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, Gordon Hayward. What up, dude?
No, Rob Bradford.
Love me some Rob Bradford.
Let's get him on the show when the time's right again.
Hey, I can shoot him a text and get him on.
I would love it.
Let's talk about it.
So we went over James Harden. We went over Drew Holiday. We're all in agreement. You're glad the Celtics did not try to match what the Bucks did for Drew Holiday because it's not worth it at that point. Like we said before, the Bucks traded everything that they own to get Drew Holiday.
I really want Giannis to still walk to Miami next year.
That would be incredible.
I
want it to happen so bad. You know what happened? I could also see Gordon Hayward opting out on Thursday and just going to Miami. That
was one of the last two teams that he had left before he signed with the Celtics on
that's a good fit.
July 4th.
That's a good fit. I'd be a fan of that. I'd root for Gordon Hayward in Miami. You kidding me?
It's a really good fit. I guess the last thing we got to talk about is we can just continue with the Miles Turner thing for another minute because I think it's important. I think the best.
He's not the guy you need though. Like he's not.
But why isn't he?
He just isn't as good as people think. He's good, and the thing is too. So I'll give you this. I wouldn't be mad if they got him. He's a step up at
center, which is what you need. He's a step up.
I wouldn't be mad,
which is what you.
I wouldn't be mad if you got him because you know what? For as much crap as the Celtics got this year at the big man position, they were pretty damn good in most categories versus the entire league. The league's not a big league anymore. Daniel Tice had a great year, but if you can make him like your guy off the bench, and then Robert Williams step up too, Miles Turner is a good option, but like, is he really worth getting? Like, is it the same value trading Gordon Hayward for Miles Turner? I feel like that's a terrible swap. Like, Gordon Hayward's a better basketball player. I'd rather have Gordon Hayward than Miles Turner.
But if Gordon Hayward doesn't want to be here anymore,
I mean, you're getting something for him. I mean, if you're going to get something now or nothing, like I'm still afraid that nothing happens tomorrow. Danny Ainge makes all of the picks, which I still think is going to be the case. He's going to make all 3 of those picks. And then
we do this
Gordon Hayward opts out on Thursday.
Every year our hopes get up, and every year Danny Ainge just crushes them.
Because think about this. Like, there's been talks all week about, like, literally, he's been trying to trade all 3 picks up to God knows where, 5, 6, to take these young kids. And all of a sudden now he wants James Harden. Like, he's going to dip his toe in every single pot, but no one wants to trade with Danny Ainge because of what happened in Brooklyn. They're still afraid to trade with Danny Ainge. And he's going to make all 3 of those picks. It's going to happen. They're going to have more guys stashed away in Maine, and then Gordon Hayward's going to opt out on Thursday and go play with Jimmy Butler.
We do this every year. You just brought up Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was supposed to be on the Celtics like 4 times by now.
Yeah, 100%. We're supposed to have Paul George at one point. Paul George was like a thing that was happening. That didn't happen.
I mean, Kevin Durant was supposed to sign here.
Well, yeah, you brought Kelly Olynyk. But you brought Kelly Olynyk to dinner. How did you not get Kevin Durant?
But Durant was legit. Durant, if you didn't have the Warriors in there, he literally said Boston was second on his list, behind Golden State.
If the Warriors didn't want him, he was coming to Boston.
Yes, he was, and that's not like fanboying. That's being legit. He came out.
Oh,
and
you're right.
Said,
which, oh my Lord, how much different would this be if Durant came to Boston that summer?
Oh my.
Well, here,
Durant and Jason Tatum together.
You might have a title.
Well, here, let me ask you guys this, because we've been talking about Gordon Hayward for a little bit. Looking back on that first game in the Celtics uniform against Cleveland, when he obviously broke his leg, did that sort of change things for the short term and the long term now that we're looking back on it? Now that Hayward's in his final year.
When Hayward got hurt, like, that destroyed the Kyrie experiment. Because if Gordon Hayward's 100% and act like he was in Utah, Kyrie's happier about being here because he's playing with Gordon Hayward, a fully healthy. Like, Gordon Hayward getting hurt that first game screwed everything they tried to do. Like, Danny Ainge got what he wanted. He had Kyrie Irving. He had Gordon Hayward. And then he was going to try to bring Anthony Davis. And if the Celtics were good that year, like really good, and Hayward didn't get hurt, maybe Anthony Davis wants to play in Boston, and that's what Danny Ainge was shooting for. That's what he was trying to do. And it didn't happen.
That's somebody else that was supposed to be on the Celtics a couple times was Anthony Davis.
4 times, I think, Anthony Davis. Another one is, what's his face? Out in Minnesota.
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns is supposed to be here a few times. Who knows?
Yeah, so that's
league.
I'm not getting my hopes up for tomorrow. I'm not.
Nope.
It's going to be, which means something's going to happen. Because I'm not getting myself excited, it's going to happen tomorrow. And
they're making all the picks.
I love drama. I love excitement. So if James Harden does come here, if this trade breaks tonight, I mean, I'm going to be fucking pumped. I'm going to be jacked up to have James Harden in Boston.
Yeah, I'll tell you now that I don't want him. But if he ever came into Boston, I'd be so happy about it.
We'd be like, holy crap, James Harden's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'd also be intrigued. I'd be intrigued to see how him and Tatum could play together. Because you still have Tatum and Brown. Like, it's not like either of those guys are going in this trade. So if then you would have James Harden, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. You wouldn't even lose Marcus Smart.
That's a small floor. That's why I want Miles Turner, because you need.
But you can't do
need
both.
a legit big man. I know, which is why I don't want James Harden. I'd rather get Miles Turner, because regardless if he's a little overrated, he's a legit big man. At one point, he was looked at as a possible all-defensive team.
Would you be okay with them doing what Danny's been trying to do, trade up and take a young big guy? Or do you need a veteran at this point? Are we done with young guys?
I'm done with young guys. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for this team to win a championship every year from 2015, 2014. They're a big man. They're one superstar away from winning the championship. Blah, blah, blah. But we do it every single year.
Yep.
I'm sick of it. I just want this team to win a title, guys. We're in a drought.
And you know what?
No, it's fun, but it's fun.
We're in a massive drought, by the way, the city of Boston. We're screwed.
Yeah.
The Celtics are the next one to win a championship. I mean, the Red Sox could, because they're so bad this year. Like, next couple of years, they could win one because that's their thing. But, like, the Celtics
Red
are the
Sox
one
could win next season.
Yeah, that's the way they do it. Who knows? But, like, the Celtics are the ones who are on path to win the next title. The Bruins could shock us this year and do it because they still have
They're
core.
Still a top 5 team.
And they're still a top 5 team. But I realistically think the Celtics are the next one to win in a title for the city.
Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 182. See, I don't even give you guys a warning anymore. I just pulled the trigger. I'm back. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian, and this is what I was trying to say in the beginning, and I just lost track because that's what I do. This is like now the boys are fully back together, and this is like Al's full time on the show now. So this is we're full steam ahead right now with a full 3-person show. Follow us on Twitter. Excuse me, that's the COVID talking. We gotta get Al a nameplate because Al's not gonna have a nameplate tonight.
Nah.
I'm not on the Twitter page, but that's another story.
What?
I'm not on the Couch Guy Sports Podcast Twitter in the bio.
You know what? I'll add you in, but I won't tag you. I'll just write Al. Quaglia
and Al.
Al Nahigian, Jared Scali. Guys, we're going to be back next week for episode number 183. Follow the Twitter page at Couch Guy Podcast and Couch Guy Sports everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Couch Guy Sports. And also my new dog product business. You got a dog, go buy a leash, a harness, or a collar. We've got solid products. We've got solid pricing. Shop Blula.com. Big sale coming up this weekend too, so keep a lookout for that. Guys, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.
Oh wait, shit.